Stories of an Aircraft Builder. Another nice article from 2005, although there are a few things that need to be corrected. The article does not mention the circumstances under which the aforementioned Oliver Wolf obtained the engine that is the main subject of this article. Nor did Oliver Wolf ever order 2 replicas from me. That is simply factually incorrect. It was a cooperation between the two of us, from which 2 airplanes were to emerge. One for him and one for me. But more on that in detail later. The radiator was not made of copper, but of brass tubes. Mercedes D.III engine. First test runs successfully completed. The first test runs of a 6-cylinder Mercedes D.III engine from a Fokker D.VII were successfully completed on October 2nd in 2004 by engine restorer Dirk Bende of Königswinter. After more than a year of work, the rare liquid-cooled engine was completed and overhauled. The owner of the engine is the enthusiastic collector Oliver Wolf, currently living in London, who himself sat in the cockpit of the D.VII during the first test run. About 2 years ago he began collecting parts for a Fokker D.VII, or buying them on the internet. It is therefore not surprising that all the original engine instruments are also present. At the same time, he commissioned the Fokker Group in Schorndorf to build 2 D.VII replicas. Both replicas are to be airworthy and remain in Germany. Oliver Wolf does not yet have a pilot's license, but that is probably only a matter of time. The D.III engine was taken apart down to the smallest component. It turned out that it was still in surprisingly good condition. However, the valves had to be rebuilt as the old ones were corroded. The valve clearance is 0.3 mm for the intake valves and 0.4 mm for the exhaust valves. The ignition cables were newly manufactured and original spark plugs from back then were used. The 2 Bosch ignition solenoids of type CH6 required almost no reconditioning. The engine is started at an ignition timing of 12 degrees before OT, after which it continues to run at 27 degrees. A Bosch starter with hand crank provides the inductive spark. The engine, equipped with animal cylinders and an overhead camshaft driven by a kingshaft, is characterized by a number of interesting details. These include a cooling water jacket for the twin carburetor, which serves as preheat the carburetor also. A grease gun in the cockpit ensures that the water pump is sealed and lubricated at the same time. There is also a small air pump with pressure regulator for the fuel supply. The synchronizer gearbox for the MG located behind the crankshaft is not fitted. A new water cooler is also manufactured, a part that requires a lot of manual work. This requires around 5 kilometers of copper pipe, which have to be soldered together to form many individual tubes. The restoration work was based on original documentation such as operating and maintenance manuals. The D.III engine, with a displacement of 14.8 liters, was built at the Mercedes plant at Stuttgart-Untertürkheim and bears the serial number 41050. The original type plates are still on the engine. As can be seen on the engine housing, the engine's warranty expired on November 25, 1918. The idling speed of the D.III is between 200 and 250 rounds per minute. The usual speed is 1450 rpm. The power is transmitted to an original Salzmann propeller from Berlin with a diameter of 2.8 meters and a pitch of 175. However, new propellers are being built for the replicas. The decor of the D.VII replica will be that of Hanselmann's machine from Jasta 15 in 1918. That means it is red at the front and blue at the rear of the fuselage, with a hussar skull on the fuselage. A perfect 1:3 scale model of a D.VII powered by a 38 cubic centimeter engine was also on display at the presentation of the engine. Article was written by Pierre Schmidt and issued in Flugzeug Classic number 1 of 2005.